These are my own design. They're pretty good, but they're not perfect. And they keep needing to be adjusted. Gets a bit annoying after a while.
I've been editing my sandal making video, which came out in theory 2 weeks ago because I've changed my schedule. Anyway, I'll put a link at the end so you can watch it if you haven't. And in that video, I mentioned a couple of other pairs of sandals. One is this pair. This is obviously half a pair. And the other one is these ones. So these ones I have actually done something with. They originally had cotton tape for their straps, and I've changed that to strips of leather and added some buckles. So I'm just going to make sure they're really properly comfortable. One of them's got an extra bit, which I'm not sure how it happened because I'm sure I measured them to be the same length. So I want to make sure that I have kind of done everything in the same direction, same order, which it looks like I have done. I could possibly also have maybe I added these tab uppy bits, yeah, those things, to put the straps through. Previously, they were just kind of twisted. The cotton tape was to get it high enough, but I wanted bits that would just keep it in place. But for some reason, this one's got all this extra flappy stuff and it really annoys me. So I'm going to sort those out and make sure that they are sitting properly. And then I'll probably wear them a bit more because that really annoys me, as I've mentioned. These ones, I'm still not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try and figure it out because in principle, I like them. I particularly like that you can put them on with one foot. Yeah, you can put them on with one foot, with one hand. See? But yeah, as I said before, they're just really uncomfortable in terms of rubbing on me, and I'm not sure what I can do about that, but I need to figure something out because I paid a decent amount of money for this kit, which I want to make worth my while. So, I wonder if you can hear the neighbours being weird. Is that the neighbours? I don't know, someone's being weird. Let me think, and I'll come back when I have ideas. Okay, so I've had some remembrances from the last time I was doing this, which was a year ago. One being that this keeps coming undone. So either I need to just re-glue it and hope for the best, or I need to maybe actually trim it so that it hugs my toe. I'm thinking maybe trimming is a good idea. And then I'm wondering if I should do some gluing down of anything around here. I probably need to make a different hole for this to come through, one through the bottom instead. So I might try that. So one of my biggest things that I've had trouble with sandal-wise is that I really want to have a lot of adjustability around my toe. The first version of this, I found it really hard to have it tight enough around the front of my foot, but not too tight at the back, which leads me to a design that I have in my head, which is actually to have kind of two separate lots of straps. The idea of these is supposed to be that you can make them easily adjustable and tighten them when you need to, but that only works when it works, which it doesn't. Words of wisdom from Rosemary and her slightly adult brain. Yeah, it's also way too loose now. I'm actually thinking that I kind of abandoned these for a reason. I have this very impressive memory, you see. So I think I want to trim it a bit. I actually need to get some toe spreaders because my toes have spread slightly from wearing barefoot shoes, but not nearly as much as they could have. So, I kind of made a lot of these, basically all of the shoes and sandals that I've made them with extra space, assuming my big toe would move over, but it hasn't enough. And quite frankly, I can make another pair if these ones kind of come to a point where my toe is starting to go over the edge. Yeah. So I'm wondering if I should just abandon this whole situation. I don't actually have any more buckles, but I kind of want to do it so that I have, I still want more support here, but I want to be able to adjust this part and this part separately, which maybe means I have something that goes like that. No, that would need to come from here. So maybe I need to put another one of these thingies over here, which would be tricky because there's nothing to put it into. Oh, well, actually that's not true. I could just, yeah, I can make it work. So that can buckle into an imaginary buckle over here, and this part will consequently be, I can make this as tight as I need to, and then have a completely separate piece that goes, I don't know, maybe I could put like a loop around there with a bit that goes up here, and then another piece that goes through that all the way around. I quite like that idea, because then I don't necessarily want it on my ankle. I don't mind that, but I do want a pair that I can run as if I run all the time. But I did try sprinting in my other sandals, and I had to abandon. Well, yeah, it didn't work because I didn't have enough full foot coverage. There will be times, like if I want to go down to the park and play cricket with my kids, I want to be able to wear sandals that do what I need them to do. Yeah. So maybe what I need to do is get some more buckles, which means the trip to David's Emporium. Oh, what a hardship! I can't do it today because they'll be shutting soon, and also I have to go make dinner soon. Yes. So maybe I should draw this because otherwise I'm going to forget what my plan is. I think, yeah, doing the two separate things is going to be more work, but I think in the long run it's going to make it a more sustainable piece of footwear, which is worth the extra effort. Okay. That's exactly what I was trying to say before, I'm sure. That's close enough anyway. Yeah, once I've got the hardware I need, I can do some bits and pieces, and I guess I'll do more gluing once that's done. I can't remember what I said I was going to do here, but I think what I'm going to do is have a bit that comes up, but at an angle, and then that buckle will go there. And that will attach in down here. It might need to be somewhere slightly different. I don't know. Something like that anyway, so that the front of my foot is nice and snugly held, and then the top part will be less snugly held, or at least separately snugly held, and as snugly as it needs to be. It may mean lots of adjusting as the leather stretches, because man, boy does leather stretch. But that's okay, because I'll have buckles, and I'll just have to make heaps and heaps of holes so that I can do that without having to constantly make new holes, because that's always annoying. Okay, I guess I'll be back when I have the stuff I need. So I got me my new buckles. I was going to reuse those ones. Maybe I want them all to be the same. Maybe I don't care. I guess we'll see. As usual, we will see. So anyway, let's get to it. Right, I think the first order of business is going to be removing this, because I have discovered I've put it on wrong. Oopsies. Okay, that's done. Now it'll be a lot easier to get through here, because I need to undo all of this. Also, it's raining. I need to go get the washing in. Back soon. Ah, my excellent children had already brought it in. Maybe I should do some marks so I know where things already are. So I've got that bit, I've got that bit, I've got that bit. So I need, and I've got this bit. I need these two. But also I kind of want to change how I'm doing things here. So maybe I'll undo that. And I'm just going to trim that off. I don't think this method of using a loop actually works for softer leather like this. It has to be much stiffer and less stretchy. Okay. Oh, I probably should have marked that. Sometimes I don't think things through. I feel like I need two little thingies on this side because I want it to come back up again. Or do I just make one, put some glue, stick that bit through? Do I actually need that part, or would it be sufficient to go like so? Well, that would actually work, but I still need it to be adjustable. And do I want to buckle here? And also this bit probably won't work as well if there's only one bit in, because if I had crossover, then it's got somewhere to go, you know, latch onto like that. And then I do that. Okay, so I need to figure out what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to fiddle around with that for a while and show you when I figured it out. I've decided I am going to put this bit underneath here. So it's kind of hard getting it in a good place where I'm going to be able to get my foot in. I'm hoping, I don't know, it might backfire. I might have to start all the way from scratch with these sandals, but that's okay because I'll learn lots of stuff. So I'm going to cut a hole, a slit here and another one there, and then it's going to go underneath there. I'm hoping that will mean I don't end up making things lift too much. I probably will need to re-glue it though, because I'll have to rip up some of it to get the bit underneath there. So wish me luck. Just found my sheathed scalpel perilously close to cords and toes. So making a little narrow triangle. Hopefully only cutting through the leather and not the sole. And hopefully cutting deep enough that I am cutting all the way through the leather. I do have a suspicion that I'm going to have to start these all over again. I also found this thing, which I'm guessing was something to do with the other sandals I made. But I have zero recollection of it. It looks like I have at some point sewn it up. So I'm wondering if that bit was just so wrong I had to redo the whole thing. But it does amuse me how it looks like a fish, or maybe a whale. Yeah, this is gonna involve boring things. I'll be back. I'm trying to be clever and just undo that part without undoing everything. I did rip up this side, which I'm now thinking I might have been able to avoid. So I'm going to try a screwdriver. I was using an awl, but of course it's got a pointy end, so it's going to make some holes for one thing, and also just has limited effectiveness. But I'm thinking maybe the screwdriver will be able to loosen the glue enough that I can make a channel. But actually this is working quite well. That's handy. That means I can avoid undoing more than I absolutely have to. Which means I can avoid having to redo more than I absolutely have to. Alright. Oh, maybe I could put tweezers through from the other end, grab that end and put through. Let's try that. Okay, I got the tweezers through, so that's a good start. Now whether I'm going to be able to grip it well enough. Can I even open them up? Yeah, I didn't think about that part, did I? How tweezers, you know, need space to be able to open up. But I guess if I can get it in, maybe I'll use my screwdriver to help me with that. If I can get it in theory, that will help it stay shut, right? Yeah. In you go. Come on. So fiddly. I mentioned I don't really enjoy things that are really fiddly, because I don't. Oh, what about if I do that? Yes, okay. Potentially twist it enough to get that in. Yes. Okay, now. Please work, please work. Failing at the moment. Maybe I'll try doing this. If I grab it and then to make sure it's going to be the right way. Yeah, if I do it that way, maybe that will be more effective. I still have my doubts. I mean, this would be considerably easier to do before gluing it onto the sole, obviously. Maybe I should have brought some pliers. Do I have pliers? No. But I can't be bothered going downstairs again. So let's just... Oh, come on. I know I made you big enough. I made the hole a bit bigger. And it went in before. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Well, I got it partly through. Can I grab it again? Okay, I'm just gonna, yeah. I'll let you know when I'm successful, eh? Right, well, in the end, pushing it through with the tweezers worked. So, that's good. Still have some slight doubts about all of this, but let's try it on. Because you see, this needs to stay tight around here, but, you know, obviously that part of my foot's wide, so... So the idea is that I now attach my buckle onto this part, and that part buckles into it. I'm not entirely sure how to attach one of these sorts of buckles, other than that I'm going to have to wrap it around and have a hole, and yeah, so I'll mess around with that for a bit. Again, I'll be back when it's functional. Many thoughts. Also, still sounding kind of rubbish. It's getting tiresome. Alright, well I've got that through, and now I just need to sew this bit together. Got holes on one side, that's handy. So I guess I can use that as a guide to make some more. On the other side, sew that together. It will be annoying if I have to actually undo and do the buckles every time I wear these, but let me figure this out. Alright, well, I've done that much. I think I am going to have to buckle and unbuckle each time I want to wear them, which is kind of annoying, but if it means I can go for nice long brisk walks without my feet doing weird things, it will be worth it. Anyway, so this bit, I've done some trimming and things. I'm going to sew that down, no, probably on the back, and then I'm going to make a strip that's going to go around. I still haven't decided if I want to do this thingy here. I'm not sure what it will do to that. I guess it will pull it. But I did do some experimenting, and I could potentially sort of do a loopy thingy instead. I don't know. We'll see. But I think I might go have some lunch. I have successfully made a giant mess, but I've also done this. I feel like somehow the front is slightly too short, which leads me to believe that, well, I need to make a whole fresh set, which maybe I will. And I'm currently tossing up whether I make the other pair, or the other sandal rather. So do I make the other one and try them for a bit before I decide? I might be able to reuse the sole anyway. It feels quite supportive. I'm overall, I think, mostly happy. Dancing foot. So I guess I'll do the other one, and then I might not need to remake them, and I might also, but if I don't, that would be handy because that will save me some time. The difficulty, of course, will be making them symmetrical, mirror image, without having a pattern anymore. That is technically that. Wish me luck. Well, I'm calling them done for now. I may have trimmed them too much. Oh. I'll have to take them for a test drive / walk, see how they go. I do feel very supported, and the leather is nice and flexible, so that's useful. I'm kind of tired because it's hard work working with leather, and it's hot. I don't like heat. When I was at David's Emporium yesterday, I saw some leather punches, which I've never noticed before. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to get something like that, because making the holes for the prong part of the buckle to go through is really, really difficult. Leather, I know, like, once the hole's in leather, it's in leather forever, but it also still kind of closes up on itself, which is a bit irritating, if I'm quite honest, which makes the buckles difficult to use. That's annoying. One buckle, like the prong bit, also decided to detach itself. So that was fun because I'd already sewn it in and I didn't feel like re-sewing that. So instead I paddled around with pliers and managed to make it behave itself. But yeah, hopefully it won't have any long-term misbehavior issues. So when I have test driven them, I'll let you know if I have anything else to say about them. I can already tell you that I'm probably not going to be wearing them unless I'm going to be wearing shoes for a while, because having to take them on and off would be very, very irritating. Yeah, so I guess they're meant to be walking sandals, so fingers crossed they do a good job of that and they'll be worth all the effort. Will I get to the brown ones? I have my doubts. I'm kind of sandaled out right now. I'm probably more likely to actually make a whole new pair, but even that doesn't seem very likely right now. More likely is the next time you see me doing shoes will be winter slippers, which I will not be doing until it's cold. So, ta-ta for now. Just a little quick postscript, because I have test walked my sandals and I'm 95% satisfied with them. I think I put the toe bit too far forward anyway. So next time I make some, I think I'll make them too long on purpose, and you can always trim that bit off. But it's like my toes try to almost go over the edge a little bit, and for some reason it's worse on this one than the other. Anyway, I also got this guy, $9, not bad, from David's Emporium, to make holes for the buckles, because I was finding it extremely difficult to get to even find the hole, let alone get the prong through there. So, can you see through there? Can you see light through that hole? Maybe not, but it's there. I haven't test driven those yet, but I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. So, altogether, I'm feeling somewhat smug. I know that, like, it definitely took at least a minute for me to put them on this morning, which was annoying. But also I knew I was going to be wearing them for a while. So I took the dog for a walk, then I drove for like 2.5 hours. And then I went into town and did a few things. They were really comfortable the whole time. So that's good. And now I've taken them off and I will be barefoot for the rest of the day. They're not quite as good walking wise as being barefoot, nothing is. Anyway, feeling smug and satisfied. And my daughter said to me, "Ooh, those look really cool." And I said, "Ooh, do you want some?" Because she lives in boots at the moment, in high summer. And she said, "Oh, no. No, they look good on you, but they look buns on me." I still have about this much hope of convincing her that if we make some specifically for her foot, she'll get used to how they look. But yeah, it probably won't happen anytime too soon. But maybe by the time her feet have stopped growing, I'll be able to convince her. And then they'll last way longer, which would be great. Ciao, ciao!